Tonight, I shoot on a red camera. Or not. Hello and welcome back to another bit of retro photography. We have here a red camera from 2011, the Nikon Coolpix S6200. Now I bought this one back in early 2019 from someone on eBay. Didn't spend too much on it, at least, but it's not in the best of conditions. A typical full-frame kit lens, on the other hand, will go from f3.5 to f5.6 and cover around 28 to 70 or 28 to 80 millimeters or even 28 to 90 millimeters of focal length. Unlike a full-frame kit lens, this covers an equivalent of 25 to 250 or an actual focal length of 4.5 millimeters to 45 millimeters. And if you go by crop factor adjusted equivalents, we're looking at around as I say, 17.78 at the wide end and around f32.2 at the long end. Do note that it's the depth of field equivalent that I'm talking about. And yes, I'm reusing the same locations I've been to before in other videos. That red Nikon is capable of an equivalent of 250. Alright, none of this video was shot on the Coolpix as it maxes out at 720p and 30 FPS. Specs wise, we're looking at a rather standard at the time 1/2.3 type. At any rate, we're looking at 16 million pixels on a sensor that's probably about the size of a piece of Super 8 film. Well, as for optics, we're talking f3.2 at the wide end, f5.8 at the long end. That kinda sucks. And apparently that is par for the course for a lot of these later stage small sensor point and shoot type cameras. not good for my equipment. The shot must go on. Out in the distance over there, there's the big crane from the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard. Actually, I can see further over there now. RTX on. What type of crab this is here. Now, outdoors in daylight, this does all right. The 10 times zoom lens does let me get close to seagulls and other wildlife. I also use the lens to get close-ups of flowers, leaves, and other things like that while throwing the background out of focus. Thing is, though, an aperture of f5.8 at the long end means we need a lot of light. However, this is equipped with Nikon's vibration reduction VR, what they call a form of optical image stabilization. I strongly suggest manually setting the ISO to 80 on this one, which is the lowest it'll go, for the cleanest image possible. And maybe using the EV comp to underexpose a little to protect the highlights. For environments not as bright or even going outdoors, you do have this built-in flash. You know you're getting old when you remember the blotchy after image in your eyes during every family gathering. And I will probably guarantee you that half of TikTok's user base are too young to remember some of these things. Or the times before we take good cameras on smartphones for granted. Well, anyways, I was out on a cloudy day and it even rained a bit during the shoot. I was about ready to pack it in and call it, but some of the clouds parted. There was even a rainbow at the end of it all. Better yet, a double rainbow. Now the Coolpix has 18 scene modes in the scene auto selector mode, but I don't bother with a single one of them. I instead use the completely different auto mode above. Now these scene modes add needless complication to a camera which is supposed to be accessible to non-technical photographers. And those modes confuse those who are photographers. Outdoors in the daytime, there should be no reason to go above ISO 80. Now this was also a chance for me to test the Panasonic S5 II with Sigma MC21 and Canon EF 28 to 135mm, f3.5 to 5.6. The S5 II I unfortunately no longer have, as I traded it in to help cover the cost of the FX30 I'm filming on now. Upon first impression, the adapted lens setup seems to have less of that crunchy digital look that I'd get with the Lumix S20 to 60mm. But the focus breathing, especially at the long end, as well as the lack of smooth aperture control, make it a hard sell. More on this in another vid, but yeah. It's only recently, within the past few years, that smartphones have started including telephoto optics that could even compare to what this red Coolpix could do zoom-wise.